year, you'll bring down the whole plant with them.
Playing Mega Man X in the 90s, I had a lot of questions, like where was the blue bomber I grew up with? I've obsessed over the idea of the original Rock meeting X. So now, let me tell you about all the times when these two met. Let's go!
Alright then, let's get to it!
Cartoon crossover, Mega X episode. If you remember this show, you know it was unique. Maybe. Nah, it wasn't anything special. It was your typical Saturday evening cartoon. But in the second season, they did something bold by bringing X. In the episode titled Mega X, the futuristic world of X crashes into the cartoon's present day. Vile and Spark Mandrill travel back in time to steal a resource called Litanium to fund Sigma's war in the future. X follows them back to stop them, and naturally he runs into the original Mega Man. Now, we're thrown into the 22nd century, and man, it's a mess. Two Mavericks, the giant Spark Mandrill, and this Boba Fett looking guy named Vile are trying to take over. And to this day, I love Vile's design. He looks like a walking tank, and he's easily scarier than the regular robot masters we're used to. They steal a time machine and head back to the past to find Litanium, which is basically super fuel that would let their leader, Sigma, conquer the future. So naturally, Mega Man X is chasing them. And I think one of the major differences between Rock and Mega Man X is that X is just a tired soldier. He doesn't have time for your happy stories. Now, Rock is at a power plant because, of course, Dr. Wily is trying to steal batteries again. When Rock runs into Vile and Spark Mandrill, he gets wrecked. His shots bounce off Vile's armor. Rock is usually the toughest guy around, but here, he looked like a toy. Then X drops in, and you can literally feel the power difference. His moves are sharper, and his tech makes Rock's powers look like a science fair project. Vile and Spark Mandrill understand that they need a base, so they find Dr. Wily. It's honestly hilarious because Wily thinks he's found new henchmen, but the Mavericks clearly think Dr. Wily is a primitive idiot. While the bad guys are plotting, we get some quieter moments at Dr. Light's lab. X is really quiet and careful because he doesn't want to screw with the timeline. Eventually, everyone ends up at a massive power plant looking for the Litanium. Rock changes in like a hero, but X is scanning the room and being careful. As a kid, I thought X was maybe too serious, but now I get it. He has seen the end of the world and he's not playing games. The finale happens at Wily's Skull Castle, and you can tell the animators put their whole budget into this scene. Just like the Super Nintendo games, the battle is beautiful to look at. There's a great moment where X has to choose, should he save the future or save Rock? Being a hero, he manages to do both. In the end, X sabotages the escape ship and gets the fuel back, but he only has seconds to jump back to his own time. Rock has a million questions about the future and why they look so much alike, but X tells him that the future is something Rock has to build himself. As X disappears, Rock is just standing there in the ruins of the lab, looking at the sky. Archie, Dawn of X, crossover. Mega Man meets X. The most well-written meeting between these two occurred in the Archie Comics Mega Man series, specifically in the Dawn of X arc. If you haven't read this, you're missing out on some of the best fan service in the history of the franchise. And no, it isn't part of the game canon. It's a story where the 8-bit Rock meets the 16-bit X, all thanks to a threat so dangerous it takes two legends to bury it. In the year 21XX, we see X and his partner Zero dealing with a group of human extremists who hate robots, called the Emerald Spears. Meanwhile, back in the present of 2000XX, Rock is on a much simpler mission. He is exploring an old laboratory with Barrow Man and Brightman. It's supposed to be a routine cleanup of Dr. Wily's old blunders, but because it's Wily, nothing is ever simple. We're introduced to the Wily Walker, a giant chemical weapon that Wily abandoned. Dr. Wily, who is currently under house arrest at Dr. Light's lab, is helping the heroes via comms. Back in the future, Dr. Kane's dig team unearths an ancient robotic leg at the Mesa dig site. It's the same machine Mega Man is fighting 100 years in the past. Talk about a cliffhanger. Issue 38 is where the Wily Walker is fully active in both timelines. In the past, Mega Man was getting absolutely hammered. He even loses his helmet. While Rock struggles to contain the Walker in the lab, the story shifts to Xander Payne, the leader of the Emerald Spears in 20XX. He's a fanatic who hates robots so much that he's willing to try his hands on experimental time travel tech. He tumbles through a portal, and honestly, seeing a human villain to be the catalyst for the crossover is a nice twist. In the future, X and Dr. Kane realize that the ancient machine they found is waking up. X is cautious, but Dr. Kane is too excited about the discovery, only to find out they're sitting on a ticking time bomb. Issue 39 is the second last chapter, and the tension is through the roof. In 20XX, Wily is sabotaging the shutdown codes he's giving Mega Man, hoping the machine will just finish off Rock once and for all. Ugh, I hate him so much. Over in 21XX, the Maverick, Hunter, Sigma, Zero, Vile, and X all come together to stop the Walker. Xander Payne, meanwhile, lands in the future. He expects to see a human paradise without robots, but instead, he finds a world where Reploids and humans live together. To a bigot like Xander, this is a nightmare. He sees the Maverick Hunters fighting the wily Walker, and sees the robot menace he feared in the past has only grown stronger over the century. It's a cool bit of character development. He's the bridge between the two eras, even if he's a total jerk. In the finale, the two eras team up without standing in the same room. In 20XX, Dr. Light and Dr. Kozak work together to send a specialized circuit board and a data module via Rush to Mega Man. Rock manages to stall the Walker long enough to install the board, which doesn't destroy the machine and puts it into a deep sleep. Mega Man and his team destroy the lab to bury Wily Walker and leave a warning module for the future. So Rock just passed the problem to the next generation. Funny. Fast forward to 21XX, X and the Hunters are struggling until they find that exact same warning module. X gets to know that his ancestor, Mega Man, left him the key to win it. Not long after that, Wily Walker is finally dead, and Xander Payne is sent back to his own time and thrown in jail. But he's gone completely insane. Here comes the fun part. We get a short-circuit gag strip where Mega Man and X meet in a non-canon space. Mega Man asks X for a hint about the future, and X tries to tell him something, only for Wily and Sigma to literally damage the comic panels so the readers can't see. A top-tier fourth wall break, in my opinion. If you haven't read it, go find the Mega Man 9 Dawn of X collection. It's a 100-year journey that's worth every page. The missing years between Classic and X. To understand why a meeting between Mega Man and X is such a big deal for fans like me, we have to look at the void in the timeline. We know the original series takes place in the 20XX era, while the X series kicks off in the 21XX. That is a full century of silence. Capcom has been tight-lipped about what happened during those 100 years. This leaves us with a stretch of history that is pitch black. Dr. Light spent his final years creating X, but what happened to Rock, Roll, and the rest? And oh boy, do I have some theories for you. 3 to be exact. Hear me out. The first theory is called Zero's death. From the ending of Mega Man The Power Fighters 2, Dr. Wily was building Zero to destroy Mega Man. What if I tell you that Dr. Wily finally succeeded? In this scenario, Zero is activated and goes on a rampage that ends up in a final confrontation where the original Mega Man is either destroyed or forced to sacrifice himself to stop Zero. You know, I find this theory good enough because it explains why X was sealed away with such a long testing period. Perhaps Dr. Light was scared of another robot with Zero's power being unleashed like a wild animal. However, Capcom has never confirmed this ending. This could be because they want to keep the classic series lighthearted, and I can't blame them for this. Another theory is that Rock was simply decommissioned. As the world moved toward more advanced robotics, the original Blue Bomber couldn't catch up. In this version, Dr. Light could have retired Rock. I like to think that Rock isn't dead, but rather he is X in a spiritual sense. His courage and heart would live on in a body that's capable enough to handle the threats of the 22nd century. Then there's our last theory that Mega Man became X through a series of upgrades. This was a very common belief in the early 90s. The idea was that Dr. Light kept modifying Rock until he eventually became the prototype for X. Yes, I know, Capcom has explicitly stated that X is a brand new creation built from scratch, and yet the upgrade theory works because it's what we want to believe. Do you want to think that Rock is gathering dust in a basement somewhere? No, you don't want to think that. You want to believe that the hero we spent years with is the same hero who wakes up in a capsule 100 years later. Looking back, it's probably for the best that Capcom keeps the official meeting a mystery. This mystery is beautiful in its own way. If you could write the perfect meeting, how would it go? I'd love to hear your theories.